Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. Thank you if you're able to join me on this weekday, this Tuesday night. We are now on Rumble. What I didn't know was YouTube was blocking uploads for Rumble to sync all my videos and stuff over there. So now you can go over there and start watching content. We are also live right now on Rumble as well. I want to make sure everyone knows this. Yes, thank you if you're able to join me for the first time over there on Rumble as well. We got a pretty good show we're gonna go through tonight. This is the first time we're able to simulcast on both platforms. I know they don't get along too well, so we got to do something to where we can um, get the videos over there instead of me having to just do manual upload. So we're gonna start just going live, and what better way to start than now? So, with that being said, welcome to the first episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast live on Rumble. Thank you for joining if you can. If you can't, well, that's all right. If you're watching this on replays, salute to you. Thank you. Appreciate it a whole lot. All right. I want to also, as always, say thank you to our subscribers. Thank you to the subscribers that come in and show love, hit that like button, share the content. I want to say thank you to the people that are sending content to the email too. I still can't show a lot of the stuff that you guys are sending. It's a little, demonetizing, if I can say that. So I can't really put that out there like that, but just put it like this: I'll get canceled. I'm not trying to do that. So just know that I want you to keep sending stuff. If you see something that you think we should talk about over there, keep sending it. I'll let you know. I might not even reply to the email. I might wait till I jump on live, right? Just to tell you we couldn't do it. But some of you guys I replied to, some of you guys I haven't been able to reply to yet. That's in no way, form, or shape trying to be disrespectful, but just been very busy. I'm doing a whole lot of reviews, mid-year reviews with my employees, and it's been kind of hectic. You know. Plus, this past week I've been manually uploading all of these videos to Rumble. I still got a whole lot more to go. So that's what I'm going to be taking my time out doing all this week, just manually uploading all of the live streams that I've done on YouTube to Rumble, just so I can get the video collection up to par. I didn't know that it wasn't syncing. It should have been automatically syncing, but some kind of way YouTube is hating, so go figure. So we're going to fix that by doing what we're doing now and just going live on both, right? But enough of that. So tonight, we're going to have the third and final episode of this new series of how to improve your value as a man with none other than the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels. And he's going to pretty much tell you how to do so if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter who it is. And that's the thing about my channel. My channel is for both men and women. It's a men-centric. We do men-centric content here. Don't get me wrong. But it's things that you will learn here if you're a man or a woman, because we do things from a professional standpoint. So that means you can benefit from it no matter what your sex is. All right. So with that being said, I'm not going to talk your ear off too long tonight. We're going to get right into the content. But make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure that if you're watching this on the replay, that you leave a comment below, right? Let me see who we got here. All right. Thank on me, fiance. Gracias, Lucky Kina. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you are always hitting that notification bell. Therefore, when we get ready to go live or when I post something on the community tab, you will know. You'll get a notification. You can go in and check out the content, or you can sit there and prepare yourself and be preemptive like I always talk about. Being preemptive, thank you, Lakakina. Being preemptive and just waiting for the live streams to come. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Usually you get a 30-minute notification for the video to show. Just prepare yourself. But with that being said, make sure you hit that notification bell. And we're going to get straight into this content. This video, I'm going to drop it in the chat. So if anybody wants to check it out, you can do that. Remember, I like to share. So the game is to be told, not sold. So boom. There we go. Send a chat. Now let's get to it. Talk to him, Godfather.
Here's what I need you guys to understand as we go forward. If you don't like the concept of ranking, keeping score, this isn't the platform for you, because we're on the young men, young women increasing their value. We're on the, I want to talk to the hit squad, and I need to define some terms. You're going to hear me mention the term Henry a lot. Henry simply stands for high earner, not rich yet. And men and women can both fall into this category. Let's say a Henry, he's 25 to 28 years old, making about $70,000 to $85,000. That's good money anywhere in this country, outside of New York City. You know what I'm talking about. 25 to 28, making $70,000 to $85,000. That's a high earner for his age, but he's not going to be rich on that. And the presumption is he or she, they're continuing to increase their income year over year. They're not just getting 3% raises. We're talking about people who are getting money in chunks, 10% increases. And here, who are the people that do this? People who are in sales, who can control their income, and people who are in professional standpoints. You don't get rich working for somebody else. Let me dispel you right this. And you don't get rich as an employee. You don't get rich as an employee. You make other people rich. The deal is, as an employee, you exchange your time, skill set, and expertise in exchange for their systems, their security, and their exposure. And if you were smart, you will go in and negotiate the highest money you could get and go in and learn the most you can about the business of what you do, and then leave and do it for yourself. You don't get rich as an employee. And far too many guys want to get rich as workers. Rich comes from ownership. And the very few professions outside of ownership allow you to make enough money to separate yourself from the pack. Law, medicine, sales. There may be some other ones in there, but that's it for the most part. So when you're a Henry, a high earner, not rich yet, how do you continue to increase your value? That's what we're going to be talking about. That's for the men. And for the women, the value equation is different. But for the most part, I'm going to be focused on this increase your value thing, 2 separate tracks, 18 to 34, and then 35 plus. And I'm going to lump the men and women into a group together. Men 18 to 34 have different motivations than men 35 plus. Over 35, you pretty much are where you decided to be. And if you're not willing to make some wholesale major moves post 35, get content and happy with where you are.
Let me stop it right there. Yeah, what he's saying is true. I agree. From 18 to, I forget the second part of the age, you're grinding. You're just out here doing what you do. You're trying to figure it out, or you're trying to just make as much money as possible in life. But once you hit the 35 plus, it's pretty much capped. You're pretty much doing whatever you pretty much want to do for the rest of your life, because that's when the energy starts to fall off. Now, I'm not saying that you can't make a change when you get a little older, because I did. I'm still trying to make that distinguishable change now to hit to certain goals that I've set that were so high, because I smashed all of the goals that I set for myself. Once I started to change my life around, I kind of set a whole lot of goals. So I smashed all of them. So I have a new set of goals that I'm trying to accomplish now. And while I'm trying to accomplish those goals, I'm just slowly, step by step making progress and gains. There's a lot of the problem is a lot of the times we think things happen overnight, and it doesn't really happen overnight like that. We have to be patient, but sometimes things happen in lumps, and when you take it, you take it. You can't cheat the game, but you can make progress in big steps, right? But from 18 to 34, you're pretty much just out here grinding. You're getting it in, doing everything you need to do to make sure that you are winning, right? From 35 on, you're kind of trying to figure out where I'm going to go to sit down and settle down. And if you're not doing that, then hey, you probably have the wrong mindset. Now let's get back to the video.
All right. So if you type in all caps, you will get blocked. You don't get to type any more than like 10 characters in all caps. Understand something. Software developers. Okay. Well, let me say this: law, medicine, tech, sales. That should cover enough. Law, medicine, tech, sales. Then on the I break Henry's into two categories. My white collar, which is law, medicine, tech, sales, and then my blue Henrys. Blue collar men have the quickest way to becoming high value, not white collar, because you can get into ownership faster in blue collar. Skilled trade, electrician, plumber, HVAC technician, roofing, truck driver, but you cannot remain a solopreneur. You must build a business. You must build a business and then employ people. What is wrong with you folks calling me? I swear to God, here's the thing. I'm going to start keeping people's numbers who call me during the day, during my show. And I'm going to keep you down. I'm going to block you. I don't want to talk to you if you call me during my show. That's dumb. I'm sorry, but you calling me during my show, you're not somebody I want to talk to, work with, anything, because it's just outright rude. So for the person who just called me, for whatever reason you called, understand you broke protocol. And that is and I'm gonna tell you honestly, guys, that's how the world goes. When you're trying to work your way up to high value, it's a lot about your social skills, because the group acceptance is the quickest way for a guy who's got middle value to get to high, somebody pulls you up. I would say the majority of guys who are high value have a story where somebody decided to pull them up and give them a shot. And they just looked at him and said, you look like you kind of got what it takes. Here's the thing. Blue Henrys. These are guys who never wear a suit to work. But it's not because they don't look good in a suit. They're just environments aren't suit driven. But these are my guys who can be in logistics, oil and gas, or the skilled trades, to name a few. Ownership happens quicker over here because you get into your subject matter quicker than in white collar. In white collar, you got to do a lot of shit jobs as a junior or an account executive and work your way up, dual tracks. But either way, there comes a point in white collar or blue collar where you have to leave the companies you work for. When I worked for Mobile, when I worked for MCI, who is no longer around, I cut my teeth in telecommunications years ago, and that entire industry evaporated. But the skills I learned there are continuing to pay dividends right now. So, what is the point of increasing your value? Because increasing your value does two things primarily for guys. You increase your opportunities and you increase your options. So thank you to the Godfather for giving tech a shout out. Yeah, because increasing your opportunities right now, there are people right now, the pandemic is making new millionaires. Because they can't go into the office and because they have a particular skill set that lends to them being able to work in this digital landscape and become more effective at a distance.
Let me stop it right there. Skill sets, important. Learn a skill. I'm not talking about how to chop wood. I'm not talking about that. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. Follow the podcast on Instagram. We're over there, right? Make sure you follow us on all social media, not just on YouTube, Rumble, everywhere. You'll see it down here in the bar right here at the bottom. You'll see all the places where you can follow us on there. Gracias like again. Skill set. This is what makes it important. Now, even though this video that Kevin is we're reacting to from Kevin was made during the pandemic, and the pandemic has been long gone, those skills and those skill sets are still important to this day. They were important before the pandemic, and they definitely are important afterwards. So on any job you work, having a set of skills makes you a valuable person. Are there things that you can do that other people cannot do? Let me tell you a story. Like where I work, you got a bunch of people don't know how to use Microsoft Excel, right? Oh my God. You should see people trying to make pivot tables. That's a skill. People sending emails. They just sending emails and it's just jacked up. So when I train people, one of the first things that I train them on is how to use Microsoft Excel. That's a skill that's going to take you a long way because you learn how to use formulas. You learn how to make pivot tables. You learn how to do a whole lot of things, pivot charts, all this in Microsoft Excel. And I might not look like the type of person that can do all that, but I can do all that. I do it every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. You know what I mean? Every day. Then the problem with a lot of people is when you lie on the resume, it starts to show when it's time for you to actually do it. That's when people like me just sit back and say, well, because that's one of the skills you need to be in the position that I have in my job, in my department. And if you don't know it, they got classes you can take for free on Microsoft Excel. And you can tell who hasn't taken them and who has. Skills, they're very important. They're very important. You got to know how to do something on a computer. A lot of you guys, especially a lot of the guys that I grew up with, you're still letting your old lady do stuff for you. You still got to find some chick to do something for you on a computer. You don't know how to work a computer. Your wife has to do everything for you on the computer. You don't know how to do nothing on a computer. You don't know how to configure nothing. You don't know how to do nothing. That's got to stop. Us as men, we can't just be the guy that sit over there and kick off the Timbs and sit back on the sofa with a big pot belly and look at our old lady and wonder if has she done everything we need her to do. Get your ass up and go do it. You get your ass up and you go do it. If you don't know how to do it, how about you learn how to go do it? Learn how to do it. There's plenty of ways to learn how to use these computers, but a lot of these dudes, they're so lazy-minded, they don't want to do that. We get where I work at, we get stack ranked against our peers all the time. I'm in the top tier, so I don't worry about nothing. That's one thing I don't worry about. And I make sure that if I rock with you and I'm cool with you, you don't have to worry about nothing. Because I'll keep you up on yours while I'm up on mine. As long as you reciprocate, we all good. But if you don't reciprocate, can't rock with you. It's all about the basic law of reciprocation. All about the basic law of reciprocation. That's why you see me talking about the Nomad Worldwide WhatsApp group that's coming soon. Right? Because I want to get in there and I want to be able to collaborate and network with people worldwide. And I want people who have those same ambitions to be able to join and do the same thing. Right? That's why I'm starting to do consultations. Right? Because people want to go to Colombia and look for a doctor. Well, guess what? I can help you with that. All you got to do is hit the email. There it go below. Right? I'm just saying. Skills. They're important to have. Very important to have. I have a skills resume. Right? Skills resume. Got about 3-4 columns of skills on my resume. All I do is sit there and just do what I do. What did he say? Susan 04 Cal. I currently got an HVAC technician under my belt and I'm an apprentice, but I would like to add IT security. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Skills. You see what I'm saying? Skills. A person of many hats. Like me, I got healthcare IT. I got healthcare management. I got music production. I got a couple of lanes I can hit if I needed to hit them. And I've hit them. And I'm damn good at them. Damn good at them. Damn good. You know, that IT security is real good too. That's a real good lane to hit. If you can get in, you might need to get on in there with Theo Waff and go check him out at the thing that they're doing down there in Houston, because he teaches this class, and that might be your end right there. All right. Thanks for your comment, Susan. Thank you for joining. Make sure you subscribe too. I need more women followers. Please subscribe. Yes. Skills. You need skills. You need skills. You need to learn how to know. You got to know how to do more than just cut the grass in your life. It's not going to work all the time. Let's get back to the video.
So to all my introverts, understand something. If you listen to what I tell you and just learn some of the basic things about EQ, you can separate yourself from your coworkers and your competitors and fast track.
Hell yeah.
That's what I did. That's what a lot of guys do. Okay. Let's get the likes up, man. You know, 2,400 people in here. 2,500 people in here. We got to get it moving. What kind of sales jobs? Another thing, guys, I need to also explain something to you guys. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, you're going to have to pay for it. Don't send me an email saying, hey, I would love to pick your brain. I would love to talk to you. You're going to have to pay for my time. One of the key things in this whole high value thing is learning that you're going to have to sacrifice. Anywhere you go, you're going to have to invest in coaching. You're going to have to do crap jobs, work long hours, stop looking for the fast track, quick. You're going to have to worry about the long, slow, deferred gratification. All the things you hear, and anybody who's been successful will tell you a lot of these things. And trying to work around or do it for cheap or get over on somebody is the quickest way to make your name mud with people who could really help you. Because I will tell you, these guys talk. And if you think you're going to hustle somebody to like, oh man, nah. So here's the thing. High value. So stay on track. Henry's, high earners, not rich yet. That goes for men and women. And the difference between the Henrys and the previous generations were waiting to live life after retirement. These generations are wanting to live life now. The key is balance. The key is balance, in my opinion. You can still plan for the future and live a good life now. Because today, many people aren't getting married as early and they're not having as many kids. So it's different. But you got to realize the most important thing in high value is understanding time is the most important thing you have. Time is the most important thing you have. Money, resources, power, status, influence, network, gravitas. These are some components of increase. These are some components that you want to increase. Now, understand something. I'm an image consultant. And yes, I am a successful guy because I've tried many things and I've failed a lot. But as an image consultant, I deal in reality. Reality, outcomes. I don't deal in theory and what could happen. You notice that a lot on my show. I'm always talking about outcomes, reality. I don't deal in what could be or what should be. I don't deal in principled arguments. So in my world, things are very black and white, which makes gray, which was what you see me wear a lot of times. Black, white, but most of the time you see me in a gray pinstripe suit. If you watch the Game of Thrones, I'm going to give you some ideas.
Let me start right there before he gets too deep off into the Game of Thrones. He's right, though. He's right. And I'm not going to talk your ear out. Only thing that I'm going to put into your head is I want you to think, what are the outcomes you're looking for? What is your desired outcome? What are you trying to accomplish? What goal are you trying to smash? What is the outcome you're looking for? It's really not that hard. Set your sights on that. What is your desired outcome? Once you figure it out, then you start planning on how to get to that outcome, to that goal. Me, I wanted to turn my life around when I got custody of my daughter. What did I do? I got my GED. Step 1. Enrolled in college. Graduated. That didn't work. Turned back around. Went back to school again. Double majored in healthcare IT and healthcare management. Graduated with both. Now I work in corporate America, mid-level management. If I can do it, you can do it. Please make sure you are following me on Twitter. Gracias like Aquino. Please make sure you follow me on Twitter. We drop a lot of content all over the place. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on all these places. What is your desired outcome? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to get at? What are you trying to accomplish? What dreams are you trying to see come true? Because you can make them come true if you put enough work behind it. Don't ever think you can't. Don't ever get so down on yourself to where you think you can't make something happen when you can. If I can do it, you can do it. I was a single parent. I was raising my daughter while I was going to school as a double majored student at a junior college. So there's no excuse. If I can do it, you can do it. Was it rough? Hell yeah, it was rough. I'm not going to make it seem like it wasn't easy. And it took a long time, but I got it done. So if I can do it, you can do it. We'll never let nobody tell you that you can't. All right, let's get back to it.
Tywin Lannister, the House of Lannister, in the real world would have run that show. J.R.R. Martin made that show to where, or the book to where he died. In the real world, they would have been the Medicis. They would have been the Roosevelts, the Rockefellers. They would have gone on and on and on. So I'm going to go into the alternate universe for the Lannisters. And I'm going to make them black because I'm black. I'm going to make them black. And we're going to call them the Lancasters. No, we just call them the Lannisters. And they can still be white. It doesn't matter. But here's the point. Tywin Lannister was never trying to be the king. He was concerned about power and influence. One thing that made Tywin powerful is he never sought the top job. Too many of you guys trying to be high value, you want to be the number one. You want to be a king, especially you black guys. You want to be the one out in front. And I'm sorry, the market gets to decide. The market gets to decide who's out in front, and there's only one lead singer. Think about the five heartbeats. Everybody's fighting over the microphone. No, you want to control. You want to own the studio and the music and the masters. Damn, own the microphone. There's always some new star. Be the hand behind the throne or the ear of power. Tywin Lannister would have gone on and on and on and on in the real world, and that's the OG. That's a truly high value man. You know how he's a high value man? Because even as crazy as Joffrey was, King Joffrey, when Tywin Lannister spoke, Joffrey shut his sadistic self up. Tywin Lannister was so cold that when Joffrey as king, I am the king, and and going off and he said, I mean, he was roasting Tywin, right? He was capping on him. He was calling him all kind of sissies and fags and this and that and punks and wearing purses and all this other kind of stuff. And what Tywin Lannister said, I think the king is tired. That was it. I am not tired. I think the king needs some rest. And then his mother, the queen, the maester jumped up. Every powerful person in that kingdom at that table moved on Tywin Lannister saying, I think the king is tired. Maester, maybe some essence of nightshade to help him sleep. Tywin Lannister put the king to freaking bed. The king had the mic right. Tywin understood power, and Joffrey understood power. And power lays where the people put it. Joffrey was the king, but nobody ever mistook where power was. So, Tywin Lannister, And in my version of Game of Thrones, Jaime Lannister would not have gone to the Knight's Guard or the King's Guard. French toast that. He would have been right under his father, as he should have been, as an apprentice, learning how to do what he should have done. Remember when Jaime was in Tywin Lannister's tent and Tywin was skinning a deer or something like that? And he was saying, I need you to become the man you should have been. Jaime Lannister was born into a position of power and principle and influence, but he threw it all away. But in my telling of Game of Thrones, Jaime Lannister will continue to move on. That's the guy who was born under a father who could teach him something. But I also need to move you into another world, the Littlefingers of the world. In my version, Littlefinger would have kept on living. In my world, Varys wouldn't have been snipped. In my world, you'd have had Jaime's, you'd have had Varys's, and you'd have had Littlefingers. And they all would have been high value. I mean, Henry's in training. They were all vying for the next step. And there were 3 different ways of doing that. There are multiple ways, but there were 3 different ways. Littlefinger trafficked in information. Varys trafficked in secrets. And Jaime was an accomplished man who actually had the outward trappings of power, but he still needed to learn some things. Now, in the real world, let's not get too far off that. So basically, this is how I think about things. You understand who Tywin is. You understand who Jaime was. You understand who Littlefinger and Varys. Those are the people who ran, what was it called? Westeros. Millions of people. King's Landing, 1 million people in that city, run by a handful of people. Like I said, high value men have always been worth. Can non-select men be high value? Varys was non-select. Mm-hmm. You don't get much more non-select than no fun bits. But anybody want to dispute his value? I'm sorry, I missed Tyrion. My bad. Tyrion. You had Jaime, who had the jawline, but he didn't have the discipline. In my world, Jaime would have not gone to Kingsguard, but he would have had to stand back. But Tyrion was born the direct opposite, a dwarf with the mentality. And in my world, those two would have worked together to surpass Tywin. Because they wouldn't have gone and done the Cain and Abel. They'd have worked together. Jaime would have been the front man. Tyrion would have been the back, the guy behind. They loved each other as brothers, and they wouldn't have fought. They would have worked together to say, this is how we do this. No one will ever accept me as a dwarf and as an ugly little sawed-up dude as king, but I will be your hand, brother. You will be the king, and we will run this shit. Not only will we run Westeros, we'll go take Easteros. We'll go make dragons. Why is this important? Because Littlefinger and Varys show you that you can increase your value. Tyrion and Jaime show you that even if you were born into it, it's not a guarantee that you're going to maintain it. It comes down to choices.
And stop it right there. Choices. Choices are very important. They're very important in this matter. Because if you make the wrong decision, it can set you back a long way. No one should ever make the choice to be out here trying to be a solopreneur. You need a group of people, a group of like-minded people to do things with. That's why you should always be in search of your tribe, your community. The lone wolf dies alone. No one never should, you should not ever, it's not gonna, you should not ever want to be a lone wolf. Right? So you have the choice to decide to get out here and link up with a bunch of like-minded people like yourself to do things that's going to put you in a better position. Also, that's going to help put them in a better position. You got to make the right choices in life. Even if you were younger, we can't use it as an excuse forever. I hate hearing that because I used to say, I was young. But even when we were younger, when we made a lot of the wrong choices, we can still choose to turn things around and to start making the right choices. We just have to start choosing to make better decisions about our life. Yeah, it's going to make things harder and longer to accomplish, but eventually you'll get there. Might not be at the age that you think you should have accomplished it, but you'll get there. You'll get it done. You will get it done. We're not going to sit on here too much longer. We're going to just keep reviewing this video, but the point is you have choices to make. What choices are important to you? Remember that, because you never want to make sure, you never want to make yourself the problem by making the wrong choice.
So, increasing your value. Let me go very high level. For women, increasing your value. There are some things that are important for women. And one of the most important things for women is understanding that even though you're the queen, you're still the king's wife. Your value is in the ability,
yes, sir,
to keep a high value man. I'm sorry that you don't like that, but that's how the world looks at it. And again, I deal in reality.
Let me stop it right there. Now, this is another thing that is real true that he talks about. And I'm not the type of person that likes to come down on ladies, but ladies, it doesn't matter what type of man you can bag, can you keep him? Fellas, doesn't matter what type of woman you can bag, can you keep her? Same thing goes for the men. Same thing goes for the men that goes for the women. But since when he's talking about women, we're going to talk about women. Doesn't matter what type of man you got, can you keep him? He can be rich. He can have everything that you ever wanted from a man. Can you keep him? Is the question. Can you keep him happy? Can you keep him satisfied? Can you keep him? That's the question. You want to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm not saying, excuse me, I'm not saying that you should ever just throw yourself completely to the wolves and put yourself all the way out there. You don't do that for you. You don't do that for other people. But when you have something that you wanted for so long, like a person that you've been trying to get with and you finally get with them, you got to make sure you're on your up and up. Make sure you're doing what you got to do to keep that person. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Even with a man, just because you got this woman does not mean you can keep the woman. You can have the most simplistic woman in the world, and all she wants is little things, and you don't know how to give her the small things. The simple rose, a bouquet of roses, the simple good morning, the little things that counts. Let's get back to the video, but we're almost done with it.
You can be an accomplished woman, but if you're 40, unmarried, no children, the world looks at you as something's wrong. You are judged heavily on the caliber of man you can keep, not get, not deal with, but keep. So, career path, some of the things that high value men tend to look for in women, they don't want women to compete with them. Rarely will you find a high value man that wants a power couple kind of thing. Sure, they may exist, but in general, if they exist, they're different. Most high value men want women to play the wife role, the feminine role. Or if she has a career path or a calling, it's something that she can do from home or from a home office. He doesn't want her out there up under another man's leadership. Let's just be real with it. So, ladies, are you doing anything right now that you're going to college for? You need to go. If you were going to college, go to college to get a degree in something that you can work a business from home. Accounting is a good one. Marketing is another one. Graphic design. What can you start a home-based business and make $50,000 a year at? Home base that you can make $50,000 a year at in your 20s. Figure that out. And while you're doing that, you need to make sure you have a level of sophistication. A sophisticated woman is a fantastic conversationalist. She engages and listens intently to others. She also listens more than she speaks. Listening more than you speak, sophistication, ladies, learn it. This will literally make or break you when involved or around high value men or IV men or hit squad. So IV movement, increase value movement, increase your value. So I'm going to just say hashtag IV. So increase value, but it's really increase your value. The IV movement. So we're talking about increasing your value. Ladies, increase your ability, increase your level of sophistication, increase your level of etiquette. Learn your way around the dinner table, around dinner parties, around any place or anything that men of the caliber that you want would be at or would live at. Learn these things. I've talked about being feminine, beautiful, inspirational. We already know that. But God, ladies, you also have to be two other things. You have to be fit and flexible. Fit and flexible. Flexible in your mentality, flexible in your attitude, flexible in your body. So, ladies, don't skip the yoga and the Pilates. Yoga, Pilates, cycling, swimming, all these things are your friends. Resistance training, strength. Men love flexible and fit women. Stylish and simple. Stylish and simple, ladies. Less is more. Knock off the outrageous colors, the outrageous makeup. Personally, I don't deal with any women that have wild color hair, really extravagant fingernails. I'm a French tip manicure dude. Yes, French tip manicure, light makeup, lip gloss. Very much a simple stylish. Thank you very much. Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Tom Ford. Those are some brands. I'm not a Versace and those broad colors. Simple. Now, depending on what kind of man you want, you need to know what kind of woman he wants. But simple and stylish will always work for 80% of people. Well-spoken, no cursing. Ladies, get rid of all the foul language in your vocabulary. There's only one time a woman should say the word fuck. And it should be in the bedroom immediately followed by me. You should never say the word, I shouldn't even have to say these things. Cursing, a lady, no thank you. Nope, ever. Nope, none, zero, zip, zilch, nada. Not even amongst your girlfriends. Because it'll slip up in public. Foul-mouthed women lower their value. Because if you think Brad, Lee, Ahmed, Keith, or Enrique want to have their woman out and about and someone hears her cursing like a sailor and they get back to him and his group is going to make him look bad. Again, you're about him. You'll make a bad look for him. Oh, you mean I don't have a life? No. Not if you want to be a high value man's wife, no, or long term, whatever you call long term commitment. Tattoos. I'm not a big fan of tattoos, but tattoos need to be able to be covered in a formal. So be able to be covered in a formal dress. So a lady should be able to go sleeveless and backless because she's flexible and fit, right? I would say that's for 90% of guys. There are about 10% of guys out there that fit in the category of men, 10% of a very small number of men. But I have to ask you, ladies, is having a half sleeve, even if it's the most artful thing done, is it important enough to miss out on a potential man? Because it's already a very small group. But even as we're talking about increasing your value, you decrease your value by marking up your body. I will tell you right now, I've seen women here in Atlanta that I was like, ooh, dang, she looks the part. And then I get up on her, and next thing you know, tattoo on your leg, on your back. I mean, even here on YouTube, there are women that I think are really attractive, but I'm like, dang, why would you get a tramp stamp across your lower back? I mean, that seemed cute when you had, but no, it's not cute at 40 years old.
Let me stop it right there. Yeah, he's kind of telling the truth. He's kind of telling the truth right there, man, because tattoos I'm not really a big tattoo fan myself. I don't have any tattoos. What's going on, Jermaine? What's happening, buddy? Thanks for showing up. I don't have any tattoos myself, so I'm not really fond on having tattoos on a woman either. But there's a lot of women out here that are just tatted up, severely tatted up, and they think it's cool, and it's not. Tattoos on their face, tattoos on their back, arms, legs. They got whole sleeves, pants, legs, you name it. Cursing, I'm not really fond of having a woman lady that curses like that either. I don't really get into that. You know, my fiance doesn't curse. She's very mannerable, very well-spoken, well-mannered Christian lady. True Christian lady. Right? If you're a true Christian and you live by the true Christian principles, I don't know what we're practicing here in America, but you know, I'm just saying. But I'm not really fond of women who curse like sailors. You know, you might be fun, but you might not be the one, if that makes sense. All of those things are turnoffs for me. I don't typically go after the same type women most men do. You know, most men are attracted to the same type women. I tend to stray away from that. I don't go after what everybody else goes after. I like to live in peace. You know, so I kind of agree with Kevin. I've seen a lot of beautiful women out here. Facebook, Instagram, see them in person, walk up to them, speak to them. Hey, how you doing? And you start seeing tats. Like, what is that? What is that right there? It throws you off completely. Let's finish up this video and then we're gonna call it a night.
Probably want no tattoo on your 40-year-old back. All right. We're going to open the likes up because if we don't, man, guess what we're going to have? Guess what we're going to have? Get my likes up. Y'all thought I was kidding, man.
See if we can skip past that part.
By these things, being well-spoken, real, no cursing. Some guys want women to be more well-read, more versed in current events, but generally, you want to be agreeable and easy to engage. When people are around you, people should feel light. Engaging and interacting you should not make a man feel heavy. All right, and then for men, some general bullet points for men. For men, first off, a lot of reason people are upset with this high value thing is because men and women are questioning their value, and because people are asking them value questions. That's why people are a little upset with this, because they're questioning their own value. Men are questioning their value, women are questioning their own value, and honestly, people are starting to question, are you? And the thing is, if you're not happy with your value, you don't want to talk about it. But I would think if you're not happy with your value, talking about it should be the least of the problems. If you're not happy, do something about it. For men, one of the first things, in no particular order, but I will say one of the first things that man needs to get, they need to do two things at the same time. You need to get a group, a personal and a professional group. Successful men travel with successful men. One of the reasons I was able to ascend the way I did through corporate America is because I ascended with a group. I'm not going to say the people's names, but D, G, C, P, M, B. Those six people and I, 7 of us, went from company to company to company. And when one of us moved, we all moved. 7 people going at one target together. Rising tide lifts all boats. Stop being a lone wolf. When you work in a company, stop trying to be a lone wolf. And this is the problem. This is why so many of you will never raise your value. You're trying to do it on your own. You're trying to be Tesla, and you need to be Edison. You need to get a group. People like you, people want to do stuff for you. Being right, principled, and moral only makes you a loser if you don't have the other components. You can be right, principled, and moral and a winner. See, it's not an either or thing. That's number 2. Life is and. It's not either or, it's and. You need a group. You need a personal group and a professional group. Maybe those groups are the same, but generally they're different. And then you need a high value mindset. A high value mindset automatically goes looking for the hard path. It does not try to do the hard things, though. You don't go and try to reinvent the wheel. You take what's already working and you improve on it. How foolish would it be for somebody to sit back and say, hey, I see something that's working right now, but I'm going to do something completely opposite? Or would it make more sense to say, I'm going to take what's already working and improve upon that? That's what working smarter, not harder. But see, this way feeds your ego. Oh, but you're going to have to check that ego, because you're not going to ascend higher. You're going to cap yourself at your ego, because there's a lot of eating shit you're going to have to do as you try to become a high value man. As you try to increase your value, there's a lot of eating shit, because you're going to have to sit in Atlanta in a Jamie position, in a Tywin position, in a Littlefinger position, in a Varys position to Tywin Lannister. You're going to have to sit in a Tyrion position. I'm sorry. You're going to have to shut up and do what Tywin says, even if you think he's wrong, because he's the man. And other groups seem to get this. And guys who can do this, who can learn to eat shit, shut up, tend to learn the EQ skills necessary to move up and deal with other men of value. Get a group, it's a mindset. Then there's also a fitness component. Guys, you got to be an athlete for life. You can't get to be 350 pounds, type 2 diabetes. Come on, man. You got to be a fitness. You got to get fit. You don't have to be a muscle-bound weightlifter, but you need to be fit, functional muscle. You need to add work, keep your core tight, flexibility, eat a healthy, balanced diet. There's a fitness component. There's also several things you need to master. You need some martial mastery. Dude, you need to learn how to get your hands and your feet calibrated. See, one thing I never really talk about is my martial arts background. But trust me, I learned early on that I'm going to have a lot of fights on my hands with guys. Early on, I realized that there were guys who were going to be upset with me, jealous of me, not liking me because I had I had curly hair, and women liked it because women liked me. Just put it right out there. Guys were going to be mad because women liked me and I was smart. So I wasn't just a good looking guy and a dumbass. So I was smart. So I knew I was going to have a lot of jealous haters. So guess what? I started Taekwondo early, and I knocked several mother suckers out quick. So it got around that you ain't going to be punking me. I was thin, light in the ass, but I would knock you the fuck out. The word got around OKC real quick. Mess with him if you want to. He will beat your ass and take your girl. And ain't nothing changed. Why do you need martial mastery? First off, as the man, you shouldn't want anything you can't defend and protect. Number two, people are going to try you. And you don't want to end up getting yourself into a situation that you can't defend yourself, that you need a gun, some sort of weapon all the time. You're a punk. I listen to guys all the time. I'll cap you out this. You're a pussy. Straight up pussy. Men who really know how to take care of themselves aren't looking for trouble, but they know how to handle it. And that's what it comes down to. And there's a confidence that comes with knowing if I have to, I don't want to, but if I have to, I won't hesitate to make you puke blood. I don't go looking for trouble. I never have. You guys have heard me throw out that I was a bouncer before and I fought full contact, but I don't talk about it because I don't need to pound my chest about it. But even some of my friends in my real life have been surprised when they've gone around my martial friends and they realize, oh, you friends he knows this. My best friend from childhood, the first time he saw me fight in a tournament, he was like, oh, he's like, I got better to stop talking shit to you. I was like, he was joking, but he was kind of serious because he was like, I never knew. I'm like, what am I do? Run around with a Daniel San headband around doing jump spinning crescent kicks? That shit ain't real. Martial mastery. Because you need to be able to take care of yourself, number one. And number two, the sheer confidence that comes with knowing, all right, okay, say whatever you want, as long as you don't cross this line. And not having just the confidence that comes with that is hard to explain. The confidence with knowing that you don't have to bark loud. You can just say what you need to say and then just move through life. You don't even have to respond to everything. But if someone decides to test you and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can make them really pay for it. You're more concerned with them than you are with you. When you really master something, you're more afraid of what they're going to have to live with than what's going to happen to you. You may get punched or hit, but you're going to break something. something's gonna really be wrong with them going forward. And see, today people don't take butt whoopings like they used to. So walking and keeping yourself out of trouble, checking that ego that I said early on, is a big portion of becoming high value. A lot of guys deter themselves off value because their ego is out of control. They can't shut up. They always got to be right. They always want to fight, and they think they're the baddest, and they're not. And they stay in lower level stuff, and they never can ascend past their ego. Because the guys that are up here that would work with them, like, no. Hothead, troublemakers, bad for business. Mastering something else. What are you a master of? When I was in sales, my goal was to become a top sales professional, President's Club. I wanted to be a top closer. A, B, C. Always be closing. I wanted to be so good that when my competitors from other companies realized that we were in on the bid, I wanted them to say, shit. Who's running lead on the account? Kevin Samuels. Shit. That's what I wanted. I wanted my competitors to know that if you're going up against me, I will kick your fucking ass. And you know what? It made them better and it made me better. When your competition is trying to hire you away, you've done something. What have you mastered? You cannot increase your value being average at your profession. You need to increase something that is valuable and useful to others. Being good at stamp collecting or Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or 2K. Now, let me take 2K and the cards away. Because you can in esports. But in general, being good at something that's a hobby, it's not what I'm talking about. What is your chosen profession? And are you good? Are you a master at it? This is where you separate yourself from the group when you work for someone. When you work for someone and they say, well, no, here are the top accounts. This is an account we need to save. Assign that to Kevin. Here's an account. Here's a territory we need to open and gain market share in. And it's a difficult. We need to bring Kevin up from Dallas to do that. We need to bring Kevin from Dallas to New York to take over this problem. Not to maintain it when it's working, when it's in the mud and fucking broken. We need this person. Woo, I'm getting excited.
I'm going to stop it right there. What are you a master of? What are your skill sets in? This is important. This is why you have to learn how to do some things out here more than what's going on in your normal day-to-day. That was weird. StreamYard just crashed on me. Well, we're going to end this live stream because it seems not to be acting right. But thank you for everybody for tuning in. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure that you hit that like button. If you're watching this on a replay, please make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And make sure that you are tuning in every week as we will be live on Rumble and YouTube. Thank you guys. Talk to you later. Salute.